What if you don't get any matches on dating apps? What if your pictures are not so good? You're just not getting reached out to by these girls. You're trying to use all these dating apps and you're just simply not getting the results. Now, I know how this feels because there was one point where my profiles were not optimized. I didn't have the best pictures taken, had some pretty crappy pictures up. I wasn't putting myself out in the correct persona, who I was really trying to portray myself, really just trying to portray who I am as a person. I was struggling to do so. So I wasn't getting the matches. And I've been on dating apps for years, on and off, of course. Never constantly on. I sometimes just turn them off because I'm tired of being on them and I'd rather just interact with people because I'm a little bit conservative and old school in my ways. I'm not so much like, oh, I don't talk to girls and I'm not confident enough to walk up to them, so let me just use the dating apps. No, I'm dynamic enough to be able to talk to women in any scenario, right? And I've trained myself to do so. And that takes a lot of years of training, by the way, guys. Like, it takes a lot of training to be somebody who can talk to a girl in any scenario possible. And believe me, the doors that will open up for you is insane. It will really open up so many doors that were closed to you beforehand. So many of you will probably be struggling on the dating apps now to get matches because it's such a small proportion of men that get the matches, right? You're talking about the top 10%. It's probably less than that even. It's probably like the top 3 to 5% of chads, as they like to call it, will be getting most of the matches because dating apps are about looks. Let's be honest, it's purely about your looks. If you've got a killer profile picture and your first picture is absolutely killer and you're some 8 or 9 out of 10 looking chad with a mad jawline and beautiful blue-green eyes, and you've just really got the look, come on, we know what good looking men look like, then you will get a shitload of matches. You will absolutely get a shitload of matches. Now, my first pictures on dating apps, yeah, they are quite good, but it's not like some ultra giga chad pics, right? I'm not an 8 or a 9 via face. I'm quite aware of where I sit on the scale. I may hopefully be a 7 and with a tan and with like a really nice beard and a good haircut, and like my best possible photo could look like a 7.5. Okay, so I'm not exactly getting flooded with loads of hot matches. I am getting a lot of likes on Bumble and I am getting a lot of likes on Tinder, but I'm finding that the quality is pretty low. So either I've got high standards or I've just got a lot of ugly girls that like me, and I'm not really matching and being liked by hot girls. And by hot girls, I mean 8s and above. I'm happy to date 7s, but I'm not going to date anyone under a 7. I'm not going to date a 6 off a dating app. I'm not desperate. I've slept with enough women and I'm looking for a good quality connection. So I guess someone who is a 7 to a 7.5 like myself, and you might be thinking I'm rating myself highly or lowly. Doesn't matter. It kind of really matters how you rate yourself. There are services where you can get yourself rated. I don't necessarily think that's necessary. I think you can take a subjective or objective viewpoint on how you think you look. So as a 7, 7.5, my best possible pictures, and you can add a few notches to your pictures, by the way, in the right environment with the right clothing, you can get a really good profile picture, okay? As best as you can for your own looks, right? You have a ceiling, right? But try and hit that ceiling. So I'll match with a lot of girls who aren't really, I'll get liked by a lot of girls that aren't really that hot. And I paid for Tinder Gold recently, and I was just like flicking through my likes, and I got a lot of likes, but I was like, man, like these girls are just not that good looking. And then on Bumble, again, just wasn't matching with hot girls. Again, like not many 8s at all. There was a few 7s here and there, but really not many 8s. And I'm ultimately looking for a girlfriend that is going to be an 8 out of 10 in my eyes. So what do you do in that instance? You're not getting the results online. Well, you get out there in the world, and I actually feel like I'm better looking in real life. When I fix up, when I've got a tan, when I'm dressed well, I'm a better looking guy in real life than I am in photos. I'm not very photogenic, so my photos aren't actually fantastic. I'm going to do a new photo shoot in the next week with a professional photographer here that I'm going to hopefully train show him a bunch of different pictures of like the best possible male Tinder profile pictures and see if he can replicate some of those angles and styles and lighting and clothing. But ultimately, if I'm not going to get the quality online, then you need to be a man and get out there and grab life by the balls. I need to then start approaching women on the streets, in bars, go out more often, go to more events, go to whatever you can possibly go to. Speak to girls anywhere, on a walk, on the street, in the gym. It doesn't freaking matter. Get out there and meet them. If you're not getting the matches online, then you have to go out there and meet them face to face, or in salsa lessons or book clubs, and I don't know, whatever you're interested in, but go to events that you're interested in and approach women. Just approach women. You have to approach women with the right aura, with the right energy, feeling confident that you've been to the gym that week, dressing well, nicely groomed beard, nice haircut. Obviously, look after yourself. Clearly, that's a really big image. You need to look attractive, but also your image and your aura and your energy. Just be cool. Just talk to girls, get phone numbers, and then, don't be needy and go with the flow and message them and see if they're up for a coffee and meet up with a girl that's interested in you. And you will find that, because I have found beautiful women. My girlfriends have all been 8 out of 10. All of them. I've had 6 beautiful girlfriends and they've all been 8 out of 10. And I've loved 3 beautiful women. And I've semi-loved other women that didn't love me back. So, and I'm not exactly top Chad status. Like, I'm not an 8 or 9 out of 10 looking guy. I don't have the chiseled jaw and the beautiful small nose and like whatever, the perfect facial symmetry. I'm aware that I am not super Chad. But on a night out, when I'm fixed up with a tan, with the right clothes, I stand out and I get a lot of attention. So I work towards my strengths and what works for me. And I'm like, okay, so I'm better face to face, so I should do that more often. I should go out more often and not necessarily have to drink, but talk to girls on the street and in classes or wherever I can go, coffee shops and malls, and really like get the repetition in and put yourself out there, bro. If you really want something in this life, you have to go out there and get it. So I will be optimizing my profile pictures. I will be optimizing my dating apps because I want to try and get better quality likes. I am getting a lot of likes, but again, they're just really not that hot. And it's just like, I want to be matching with hot girls. I'm not even seeing that many hot girls on the apps, which kind of worries me. And I'm thinking about paying someone to DM a bunch of girls on Instagram. I don't have the time to do it. I'm too busy building my business, making videos and trying to build my social media and my crypto fund. So I may pay someone to DM a bunch of hot girls in the city that I'm in. I'm in Bucharest right now. I may actually pay someone to DM a bunch of hot girls, sort of like generic messages. And once they, pick up the conversation, then they'll pass it on to me, right? So like, this is the shit you've got to do to win. And this might sound difficult and exhausting, but guess what? Life is difficult and exhausting.